Hello, everyone. So we will slightly start our event about employee capital plans. And today we will talk with Grzegorz Mierucki, sales manager from NNTFI. I will ask Grzegorz a few questions about PPK, how this program works, what is the difference with the previous programs, and so on. So, hello, Grzegorz. Thank you for joining us.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone.
So I think we can start from the question about existing program and comparison with the previous programs. May I ask you to describe advantages and disadvantages PPK compared with the previous system?
Yeah. Of course, if we are talking about the PPK, this is a new plan introduced in 2019. So you, as the biggest employer in the Poland, one of the biggest, need to introduce that plan in 2019 in November, as you remember. So it's the first type of such obligatory plan for, of course, obligatory for all employers and the voluntary for employees. Of course, all employees are enrolled automatically after 3 months employment period, but they can, of course, opt out if they don't want to participate. What is the difference? Difference between this new product and this previous one is about the privacy of the money that we collect in this PPK product, because in this public open pension fund, we of course had some money. Somebody called us many years ago that this will be our private money, but they were still public, and they belong, let's say, to the Social Security Office. And as you remember, in 2014, we have some changes in the open pension fund, and half of the capital that we had there was transferred to our sub-registers in the ZUS, so Social Security Office. So we have only now enough equity part. So and contribution from the ZUS to offer was reduced to the level about 3%. But here in the PPK, what is the important thing for employees? That you collect private money. This money comes from employer. You as an employee also need to contribute some level of contribution, and also you can receive some incentives from the state budget. So I think it's quite a good opportunity to collect, to save for your future retirement, or you can also use this money earlier. But I think that we will be describing it a bit later. So the main difference comparing these two products is that here in PPK you collect your private money, and you can do with this money whatever you want at any time, because there is no obligation that you need to keep this money for example till the retirement.
Okay, great. And probably because it was introduced a couple of years ago, so maybe we have some statistics starting from introducing the program.
Yeah, we have some statistic about this PPK program. Of course, when we consider the participation in this product, in this PPK program, it's not optimistic statistics, because we have not much than 22% of all eligible employees all over the Poland, so it's quite less, not much. But when we compare it to the Great Britain system, where they have for over 88 years similar product, so at the beginning was the same participation, but after 8 years we have almost 90% of participation in this obligatory employer pension plan. So I believe that in the forthcoming months, years, the the employees will change their attitude and they will get more familiar with the PPK and they want to participate. But of course, in your organization, the participation is quite good when we compare it to the standard average level, because you have almost 50%. So it's really good. So congrats for you and for your employees that they want to participate in this plan. But we have potential. We have the rest of 50% of your employees that hopefully after today's meeting, some of them will change their decision and they want to be re-enrolled to the plan after they opt out at the beginning. Because it's really worth to have PPK, because it's your private additional money that you can use, as I mentioned, for any purpose in the future.
Okay. I think 2 years it's not so much for programs like this, and I'm pretty sure that we are just at the beginning of this way. And as you mentioned, we have some nice examples from other countries that showed us that we are on the right way, I would say, right?
Yes, of course we are on the right way, but what is necessary to do more? Of course, we need to educate our employees, our clients about this product, because I think the lack of financial knowledge and the trust for our pension system influence on that participation that we have, because we still have in mind these changes in the open pension fund and we still compare it to this product. But PPK is not open pension fund, is not a part of the public system. It's totally private one, the same as IKE, as IKZE, and also which are also in this third pillar of Polish pension system. So if we will be comparing it to the open pension fund, we will not participate, because we still hear when we talk with our employees, clients, that they are afraid that somebody will steal this money the same like in open pension fund. Nobody steal the money from the open pension fund. They were transferred to the ZUS, and we still have it on our sub registers in the Social Security Office. Here you have your private account, you have your personal access to the web portal where you can manage with your account PPK. You have also mobile app, so you have access to that money at any time you want.
Okay.
And you can monitor it, of course.
Yeah, great. So I would start from the beginning and talk about enrollment and eligibility for the program. Who is eligible for this program? Maybe we have eligibility by age, citizenship, residence, maybe type of work, and other criteria.
Yeah, to answer that question, I will just use the presentation that you also can see. So a few words about who can participate in the plan and who is enrolled to the plan. So just give me a sec. I will just move to the right slide. Okay, so we have it. So as you see here, all employees aged 18-55 are enrolled automatically after 3 months employment period. To be honest, you don't have to do anything if you want to participate in the PPK. Employer will enroll all employees aged 18-55, but for the employees who are aged over 55, so 55-70, they need to submit dedicated statement that they want to be enrolled to the plan. So such person needs to submit additional paper form to employer to be enrolled to the plan. But all employees from 18 till 55 are enrolled automatically after 3 months period of employment. And of course, what types of employees of employment contract we consider? All employment contract which we receive remuneration, which are based for the social and retirement insurance contribution. So all types of employment contracts are included to the PPK. Of course, employees may resign from the participation, so before the enrollment. So you have this 3 months period that you can submit a opt-out form, or you can do it, of course, later at any time. So I always suggest to employees that you may resign at any time. So give a chance to that plan, join, see how it works, see how you will manage every month by this contribution that you need to pay as well as employer, and then decide whether I want to stay in the PPK because it's really worth to have it, or I want to resign. But mostly the 50% of your employees decided to resign from the participation. So I think it could be a mistake, but of course everybody decides on themselves. But you can try, because you can withdraw this money at any time. You can resign at any time. So give a chance to that plan because it's really worth to have it. Of course, it's also stated in the Act that every 4 years we have some enrollment process, a re-enrollment process for all employees who resign from the participation. So first re-enrollment time we will have in April 2023. So all employees who resign before that date, they will need to be re-enrolled to the plan, of course, if they will not submit before such a re-enrollment process resign form.
Okay, and I just would like to maybe double check about citizenship and residence. It doesn't matter what kind of citizenship employee
No,
has.
there is no matter what citizenship you own. You just need to be hired here in Poland, pay social security contribution and taxes, and you can participate in the plan. This is for all employees at the employer. No differences between citizenships or stuff like that.
Okay, great. And is it also applicable for persons who work using B2B contract?
No, it's not for the persons who are on the B2B because they are you as an employer and employees on such contracts, they don't pay social security contribution. Yeah, they need to do it on their own. Employer is not paying social security contribution.
Okay, good. And you also mentioned that after 4 years, after opting out, we will be automatically re-enrolled on the program. And who is responsible for counting these 4 years?
This is one time for all employees, no matter when they resign. If it was 1 month before that date, or 2 years, or 3 years, it's just one date for all employees. Of course, we in the February this year, this 2023 year, you need to inform as an employer, of course, with our support. You need to inform employees that we are closer to that date, and they need to decide whether they want to still resign from the PPK or they want to be re-enrolled. So in the February 2023, we need to deliver this information to your employees, to all employees, and they have 1 month March for decision. If they don't decide in the March, they will not resign once again from the PPK participation. Then until the 10th of April, you as an employer need to enroll these all employees without second resignation.
Do I right understand if I will change an employer, my previous employer will transfer this data about my participation to the new one, right?
Yeah, of course. If you change an employer, you can always transfer this money to the new PPK provider, to the new employer. You can use employer as a intermediation of such process, or you can just submit this order as an employee directly to the financial institution. Which mean, I don't know, it depends on the financial institution. For example, you may have such option, such disposition in the portal, in the web portal that you have access to, and then just simply submit this order. Or if you will be hired in the new employer, you can use your new employer, and the new employer will help you to transfer this means from the previous employer to the new one.
Okay, clear. So, making step back to the enrollment, I would ask about participation in the program for our partner or spouse. Is it possible?
No. You can be participant of the plan only when you are hired by employer. There is no possibility to add somebody from your family, for example. Yeah, you have this individual product, for example, IKE or IKZE, and you can use it for your spouse or another person from your family. But there is no possibility to include somebody from your family if that person doesn't work at employer.
Okay, clear. Is any chance to open PPK by person by itself
No.
without employment?
No. This program is dedicated to employers and
Mhm.
employees, and only employer may enroll employees to the plan. And in that way, we are opening an PPK account. There is no possibility that individual person, for example, somebody who is not connected with the EPAM, want to have this PPK product in EPAM if they don't work here. It is not possible in
Okay,
any way.
okay. So that's clear. And I would suggest slightly move to inheritance and how PPK funds how I can inherit my PPK funds uh, heirs, for example.
Yeah, you can, of course, in the time after the enrollment to the PPK, you have possibility to use our portal to add beneficiaries. So you can just indicate the person that after the death of the PPK participant, they may withdraw this money at any time without any additional costs. There is no taxes, there is no fees from our side. But of course, it's really important if you are in the joint property with your spouse, then the half of the means gathered in the PPK are transferred to your spouse. It's obligatory if you have joint property. The rest of the money, so the next 50% of your money, will be dedicated to the to the heirs or beneficiaries. Of course, if we have beneficiaries, so they have access to this money first, and then we have hers and the whole inheritance process. So it's quite good option to add beneficiaries at the beginning of your participation in the PK, because you can secure this money to your closest family, to your colleagues, friends, because there is no rules who can be your beneficiary. You can add whoever you want. And of course, after that, the access to the money are quite straight, because you just need to contact with the financial institution or this employer who run this PPK, and just submit special form, and the money are on your account after 4 working days. But of course, if you are talking about the inheritance process, so we need to have some agreement, some statement from the court, and then it could last longer than when you indicate beneficiaries. So I suggest to add the beneficiaries. It could be also your kids, your child. There is no also rules about the age who can be a beneficiary. So it's your money, your decision who will receive this money after your death. But the half will be always transferred to your spouse if you have joint property. The rest will be transferred to the beneficiaries or heirs. So this money will be always get to your heirs or beneficiaries.
Okay.
So you will not lose this.
How we should handle the situation when we have a contradiction between bequest and the beneficiaries on the portal?
What
I mean, if in bequest we have some statement, but in beneficiaries it was listed some other persons, or in any case we have some contradiction here.
There is always we see on the current list of beneficiaries, yeah, in our system. So if you, for example, transfer money from the previous one to the, for example, to the EPAM, so the beneficiaries indicated in the EPAM will have access to this money, no matter who you indicate before in the previous program. But of course, you can always update the data of your beneficiaries. You can just log into your personal account, go to the My Data beneficiaries, and you can change them at any time.
Okay, good. In that case, by priority, we will have firstly beneficiaries, and after that, it will work backwards.
Right? I'm not sure if I'm getting your question right.
Yeah, sure. I would say that if we have beneficiaries in our PPK fund in an entire file, right? And with the notary, we make a little bit a different statement, a little bit a different backlist. And in this backlist, we make some other proportions, for example, for these people. If I right understand the answers, firstly, by priority, it will be taken into account beneficiaries on the portal, and after that, and the second priority will be backlist or statement that's signed by notary.
No, there is only, you have only if somebody will indicate as a beneficiary, so we don't have any, for example, I don't know how to explain it. There is only this person who were indicated as a beneficiary has access to this money. No matter who you have before or backwards, or if somebody will happen with this beneficiary, there is no some replacement like something like that.
Okay.
That part is going to the inheritance process. So from this beneficiary, for example, who died or something, something wrong happened.
Okay. Thank you. That's clear. And in materials, I saw that this money could be transferred to another PPK account, IKE account, PPA account. And what if beneficiaries doesn't have such accounts? Can it be transferred by cash?
Yes, of course. They can just withdraw it by the cash.
Okay, great.
But what is worth to mention here, this transfer for the EK, PPK, or PPE is possible only for beneficiaries or heirs. There is no such possibility for a participant. Yeah, so they can only transfer between PPK. So only for beneficiaries and heirs, there is additional possibility to transfer to our PPK, to our PPE or IKE, or just withdraw it in the cash.
Okay, and just maybe for double confirmation, all of this money, I mean 100% of this money will be transferred to beneficiaries account.
Yes, it will be 100%. There is no additional taxes. There is no additional fees from our side as well. So it's just the clear money that will be transferred to the PPK or to other product that will be chosen by the beneficiaries.
Okay, great. So if we touch it topic connected with taxation. So also I need to ask about taxation if you will sell something and we would like to withdraw some money. What kind of taxes should we pay?
If we want to withdraw this money before the age of 60 or after the age of 60?
Yeah, let's first talk before.
Before the age of 60, so I will still support with the presentation. So, of course, at any time, as I mentioned before, you can withdraw this money before the age of 60, so you don't have to wait till for ladies, it's retirement age, but for gentlemen, we need to work until the 65 years old. But you can withdraw this money at any time before the age of 60. But also there will be some consequences, financial consequences of that earlier return. So as you see here, you will need to pay a capital gain tax from the profit that you achieved on the invested capital, and also from the contribution that is paid by the employer, so this 1.5%, and every month is transferred together with your contribution, with employees' contribution to your account. We will deduct 30% of the capital, and we will transfer this money to the Social Security office to employees' personal account, so it will be settled on your account, but 30% we need to deduct and transfer there. And also, if you received some incentives from the state budget, so for example, welcome payment 250 zloty and annual payment 240 zloty, then we need to also return this money to the Ministry of Finance, and you will receive 70% of employer's contribution, the full percent of your contribution. Of course, it will be profit or loss, so it depends on the situation on the market and how the funds and the funds performance. And also, we will transfer from the profit 90% to the tax office. So you as an employee don't need to do anything with this return. So it means that you don't have to inform your tax office or any other institution that you made this return option. So you just decided to withdraw this money before the age of 60. You have such possibility, and if you don't submit resignation form, you are still a participant of the PPK. So it means that from the next month, you will still be receiving the contribution. So 1.5 from employer and 2% from your side, you will have to still pay to the PPK. So if we made a return option before the age of 60, it means that we are still a participant of the PPK, but we just withdraw all money, because we cannot make a partial withdrawal, only full amount that we have if we consider a return option.
So you mentioned that we don't need take care about this, because no actions from our side are expected. So, and what about taxes? Because at the upcoming year we need to provide a PIT declaration, and should we reflect something in the PIT?
No, you don't have to do nothing, to be honest, because we as a financial institution are obliged to calculate and deduct all taxes and the contribution, for example, ZUS contribution that need to be transferred to them. So you as an employee don't have to submit any statement to the tax office. Of course, if we consider the tax that you need to pay from employer's contribution, this 1.5% every month, so it's also included in your base. So in the PIT declaration that you receive from your employer will include this 1.5 to your annual remuneration. So you can just go to the website, to our web portal, click on return option, and after 3-4 working days, you will have this money on your account. But of course, reduce it by these taxes and Social Security contribution, and nothing more is required on your side according to the taxation and other stuff.
If I right understand, all taxes will be paid by PPK provider.
Exactly. We as a financial institution are obliged to deduct and transfer to the proper institutions these taxes and Social Security contribution. So you will just receive your money after all deductions.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, and how I can understand what kind of deductions will be, because different people are eligible for different thresholds. People under 26 have capital gain tax, have income tax around 0. We have 70%, 32%. So what kind of percentage will be applicable for capital gain tax here?
Capital tax is always the same rate for everybody, so there is no it is not important for this tax in what tax threshold we are currently. So no matter if you are in the first, we don't pay a taxes, or underage, under 26 year of age, or we are in the second tax threshold. Capital gain tax is always 90% from the profit. Yeah, but the tax threshold have quite important meaning if we consider the contribution that we receive from the employer, because if we are in the second tax threshold in some period months of the year, we will be deducted by the higher tax from the contribution. So as you see here, I have some examples of the contribution and information about taxes. So as you see here, if we earn at least 8,000 or gross of our monthly salary, so in the last month we will achieve this second tax threshold, and we will need to pay from the contribution 32% of in amount. Yeah, so we will, you as an employer is responsible for such deduction, but these taxes are paid from the net salary, so they not reduce the employer contribution. So for example, as you see here, if you have this first example, 8,000 gross, so as you see, the contribution from employer will be 120 zloty. The tax in the second tax threshold, it will be 38 zloty. So this 38 zloty will be deducted from your net salary, and the full amount, 120 zloty, will be transferred to your PPK account together with your 2% of the employee's contribution. But of course, if somebody is under 26 years, 26, they will not pay any taxes, yeah, until they will achieve this age. So after the 26, they will need to pay 17 or 32% of tax.
Okay. You mentioned that 30% of contribution will paid 30% of contribution paid into PPK by employer will be transferred to ZUS. And how will be distributed other 70%?
It will be just transferred to your bank account that you indicate during you will be submitting this disposition of return.
Okay, clear. So
of course, you will receive it by the cash.
Yeah. Okay, good. So is it possible to withdraw just a part of money, kind of withdraw gradually?
It is possible, but when you achieve the age of 60, it is not possible before that age, because if you want to return this money, you need to withdraw it in the full amount. But there is two options that you can use this money in some other cases. So we are talking about the serious disease. So for example, leukemia or Heinego-Medina disease. Just the samples. Of course, the full list of these diseases you have in the act. You can just go there and find this all diseases. There is a lot of them there, and then you need to use 25% of the gathered capital for such case. So you can withdraw it in the one amount, so 25%, and you don't have to return it to the PPK in the future. So it's one-off payment, and you can just use it for complete any actions considered with this disease. The second option is that you can use this money also as your own contribution if you want to take any loan in the bank. For example, you want to buy a flat or house or something other, then you can use this money as a own contribution. This money can support you to collect this full own contribution, but in the next 15 years, you need to return this money to the PPK. You can have you can take this money as own contribution until the 45 years of age. So it means that you have 15 years to pay it back to the PPK. So then we sign such agreement with the employees directly, and they are in this agreement. We have provision in what way and when employee want to return this money to the PPK. So there is a first option. So if I summary it, this option, before the age of 60, you can use this money 25% in serious disease, 100% when you need some money for your own contribution to a loan. And the third option, you can just return this money at any time from the PPK. But of course, you need to pay this social security contribution and capital gain tax and return these incentives from the state.
Okay, so you mentioned that if we will buy, if we take a mortgage for house or flat, we need to return this money in 15 years. And
Yes.
what happens if I cannot return this money because my financial situation can be changed, and I will not have the possibility to do it?
To be honest, it's really hard to say how we react in such case before, so we don't have any experience in that. It's really hard to say because we have only agreement, which force you to return this money in the next 15 years, but we have any additional tool to force you if you don't want to return this money back. But of course, there will be some requests from the Ministry of Finance, from the ZUS and stuff like that, and institution like that, because if we pay this money as a own contribution, we also withdraw these financial incentives from the government. So that's why I think they will be interested in returning and receiving back this money. So maybe they will use ZUS or any other institution to force you to return this money, for example, this 30% of tax or this financial incentives from the state. But it's really hard to say for me today how we react and what will happen if you don't return this money. But you can be sure that some institution, some government institution will contact you directly and ask where are this money and why you don't want to return it, and they can force you in the other way by using any other institution. We have only agreement, and we can only just act based on the agreement that we have.
Okay, clear. And if I would like to withdraw some money, for example, for buying a house and flat, should I pay tax from capital gain here?
No, there is no capital gain tax. You withdraw 100% of your capital and you don't pay any taxes. The same like in the serious disease. You withdraw 25% and you don't pay taxes. This is the advantages of such solution here in PPK, that you can use this money also in other cases, not only for retirement, but they can support you. This money can also support you in some other way when you want to buy a flat or something wrong will happen to you or your closest family, because this 25% can be used also for your spouse or your kids, so the closest family.
Okay, I would remind our audience that you can still write the questions, and we will ask questions on the Q&A session just after our interview. So, and I think we have covered we have covered some topics when we can withdraw money before 60, right? And what if we are plan to withdraw money after 16? What kind of condition we should meet in that case?
So as you see here on this slide, if you are at the age of 60 or higher age, you can withdraw this money at any time. So you have possibility to withdraw this money without any taxes in such a proportion as you see here. So you can take as a one-off payment 25% of your savings, and then you will not be deducted by any tax, and the rest 75% withdraw in at least 120 installments. So if you will choose this option, you will pay no taxes, no any additional fee. Of course, there is possibility to withdraw full amount of collected capital, so 100%, but then from the 75% you will be deducted by the capital gain tax. So from the 75% we will calculate your profit, and then from this amount we will deduct 90% of the tax, and you can withdraw this full amount. Also, if you reduce the number of installment and it will be less than 120 installments, then will be also deducted. You will be also deducted by the tax. So if you want to withdraw this money without any taxes, then as you see here in this proportion, so 25% and 75 in 120 installments or more installments. But if you want to have this at once, from the 75%, we will deduct capital gain tax. Of course, if you withdraw this money at the age of 60 and you still work, for example, at EPAM, then employer will stop contribution to that plan. There will be no more contribution transferred to that plan. But if you don't need this money now, when you achieve this age of 60, you can still participate in the PPK. Still, the contribution will be transferred to your PPK account, and you can decide, for example, okay, I have 63 years and then I want to have this money because something, I want to buy something, I want to spend this money for some vacation, for example. What is important, at the age of 60, you are eligible to withdraw this money without any taxation, but it's your decision when you withdraw this money. So I think that's all.
Okay. So if I right understand, if I would like to withdraw all amount of money after 16, I should pay a tax from the rest 75%, right?
Yeah, you need to pay tax from this.
Is it possible to withdraw this 75% for buying a flat or house? Because as we just discussed, it's not taxable. If
Well,
I have an agreement to refund it in the next 15 years.
No, it is not possible. If you want to use this money as your own contribution to a loan, you need to take 100%, not a part of the capital. So this money, of course, if you withdraw this money in the full amount after the age of 60, you can spend this money for any purpose you want, but you cannot take it, for example, only 75% from and finance your own contribution.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is it any possibility to make a shorter this 10 years period after 16?
Of course, you can shorten this period, but then you will be deducted by the capital gain tax.
Mm-hmm.
If you withdraw this money at least in the 120 installment, there will be no tax. We will be just withdrawing your money every month in the proper amount till zero, let's say. Yeah, the rest, the last installment will take all the money that you have on your account. But if you reduce this number of installments, for example, for 100 or 80 or 60, then we will, of course, withdraw this money every month, but every month we will also deduct capital gain tax.
Okay, I got the point. Okay, that's clear. Everything about withdrawal, I think. So, and also, I would say about any taxes from our income, for example, from employer or from government, because we received this money from government, and it could be treated like our income, and we should pay tax from our income. How this process looks like?
The incentives from the state are exempt from any tax. Yeah, so there is not it is not our income. So we also are not deducted by any taxes. So it's just a welcome payment, 250, and annual payment 240, and we receive it in the full amount without any deduction. For example, income tax. Of course, income tax we are paying from the employer's contribution. So as I mentioned before and present on the previous slide, 70% to 32%, or if you are under 26, we do not pay any income tax from employer's contribution. Mm-hmm. So the incentives from the government, from the state budget, are exempt from any tax.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Great. So in that case, it seems that that the person doesn't need to reflect, doesn't need to fill a PIT form connected with a PPK, right?
No, there is no need.
Great. So now I would talk about transfer these funds to another PPK account insurance policy or fixed term saving deposit. So I think people understand how it can be transferred for PPK account, because we have already talked about changing employer and transferring money to another PPK provider. But what about insurance policy or fixed term saving deposit?
So you just need to have agreement with the insurance company, and then we are just transferring the money collected in the PPK to this insurance company, and they are paying you pension, for example, let's say pension according to the agreement that you have with this insurance company, and that's all. We just transfer. We need to receive this agreement, and we are just transferring this money in the full amount to this insurance company, and they are paying you every month some additional pension to your public pension.
Okay. It should be insurance company from the Poland or around the world?
It should be from the Poland, because now we don't have any additional agreements with the foreign countries, and I know that we have some acts in preparation to transfer this money between different countries in the European Union, for example. But now there is no such regulations, and we need to use only our domestic or insurance companies.
Okay, clear. So, and if I right understand, you will transfer the existing PPK provider will transfer the money without any taxes and fees.
Yes, of course. It's the full amount. It's the full amount of money that you have on your PPK account.
Mm-hmm. So, and should I pay something for transfer my money?
No, there is free of any charges.
Okay, great. So, does it matter what kind of insurance company or what kind of insurance policy I have? Because I know that some insurance companies provide kind of investment insurance where we can invest in some funds under insurance umbrella, I would say. And other companies provide kind of risky insurance. It could be all options or just a specific ones.
You can transfer this money to the insurance company, but I don't think it's possible, to send it to some, risky investments or stuff like that, or product like that. It's rather you are just transfer this money to the financial institution, and you don't worry about how they will, invest this money, because of course they have their own policy. What is important for you that you transfer this money to the insurance company, and they are every month or for some period or for life, they are paying you some monthly pension. Yeah. And what happened with this money from the PPK, what they will do with this money is not, it's not your problem, because you have agreement that every month they are paying you some amount of money.
Mm-hmm. Great. So, and if I right understand, the taxation will be applicable according conditions. So, I will paraphrase my question. So, if we try to transfer money when we're under 16, should we pay tax for this?
If you are transferring money, but you mean to this insurance company before age of 60?
Yeah. Right.
This is not possible before the age of 60. You need to be eligible to withdraw this money, and then after the age of 60, you can transfer this money to the financial insurance company. Before the age of 60, you can only return this money or use it in this to situations, serious disease, and when you want to take a loan. There is no possibility to have it before the age of 60.
Great. Now,
because it is one of withdrawal option after the age of 60. It is not, for any time. It's only an option when you are at the age of 60 and you want to, for example, have this this agreement with insurance company. So it doesn't work before the age of 60, because before the age of 60 we have other disposition that you can use this money, return and to other.
Yeah, and if I right understand, we can transfer money to insurance company after the 60, and should we pay tax for this?
No, of course we transfer the full amount, and we do not deduct any taxes, because it is one of withdrawal option when you are eligible. So you don't pay taxes after the age of 60.
Even if I would like to transfer now 1% or 100% of my money, for full amount of money, without waiting this 2 years period, right?
What 2 years period?
220 months, because we
120. Okay. Yeah. So 120 months, it's 10 years. 10 years of period when we will be withdrawing this money in monthly installments.
This I got the point. It means kind of assignment to PPK provider when we would like to transfer this money to our own account, to insurance company, or whatever.
Exactly.
Right?
You have few options, so you can have this agreement with insurer. You can withdraw this money in such proportion as you see here on the slide, so 25% in one-off payment and 75% at least in 120 installments. Then you will be not paying any taxes. Of course, you can also withdraw the full amount after the age of 60, but then from the 70%, 75%, you will be deducted by the capital gain tax. So you can take all money at once, but you need to pay capital gain tax from the 75% of capital.
Okay, clear. And the same condition also applicable for fixed term saving deposit, right? Only after 60, we can transfer money to fixed term saving deposit.
What deposits? Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah. So we can transfer money to another PPK account. We have already discussed about this. We can transfer money to insurance company. We also covered this point, and fixed term saving deposit.
In this saving deposit, I'm not sure if we have such option in PPK. For sure, we can use insurer. We can use some transfer to another PPK, but it is also important that we can transfer this money before the age of 60. After the age, we can only withdraw this money, so there is no option to transfer it. And this option are available within this product.
Okay, I've got the point. So actually, I think we more or less covered all points, and before we will move to sections, to Q&A section, I also would like to say to our audience to write questions into chat or me directly. So I want to ask a couple of questions about general risks. What happens if an NTFI will go into bankruptcy, or any other PPK provider?
Yeah, we are a professional company, and of course, this case is secured. If something wrong will happen to us, we are cut off from the funds, and the custodian bank take over funds management. Of course, also before you will be, I believe, informed that something wrong is happening with the fund provider, financial institution, and then you can, of course, change the provider. Before that, but your money is always safe in the funds, because funds are not our property, it's your money. So if something wrong will happen to us, we cannot use this money to cover our liabilities, for example, when somebody will be just liquidating, for example, our company. So it's always like this, that if something wrong happened to us, we are cut off from the funds. Your money is still invested and managed in the funds by the custodian bank, or some other financial institution may take over these funds and manage them. So there is no such possibility that you will lose this money in such option.
Okay, okay. And if I right understand, if I change a PPK provider, all my funds in the existing one will be sold, and and new funds will be buy on new PPK provider, right?
Yeah.
Okay, clear. So if a person would like to relocate to another country, how how PPK program will work with this person?
Of course, you cannot transfer it to another country to similar product, some pension product, but then you can just leave this money and wait until the age of 60, or you can just return this money before the age of 60 if you want to leave Poland, for example, and move back to your domestic country.
Mm-hmm. So it means that I will have some money on my PPK account. For example, I made a decision don't withdraw it and just save it. Do I right understand that if I will back into Poland, for example, after 20 years, I can I can withdraw this money with paying taxes?
Of course, you can. It's your money, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's your decision, what you want to do with them. As I mentioned, you can withdraw it when you are 60 aged. You can return before the age of 60. It's always your decision. Please remember also that you have a web portal and you have access from any place in the world where you have internet, and you can manage by your PPK account, yeah, even from the foreign. From the abroad, so you have access. You have still access 24 hours, 7 days a week to your PPK account.
Okay, clear. So one more question about the risks. Do you remember the situation? But in some East countries, it was the situation when government freeze our private money for some period of time, especially when government meet with some crises or something like this, and the bank system would like to keep money inside of the country. So, is it possible such situation in the Poland with PPK program? Maybe it's not not regulated by PPK, but maybe from your experience.
Yeah, it's really hard question to answer because I don't know the future, but I'm sure that it's really hard to freeze this money to keep it here in Poland by government, because it's our private money. So it's the same as we have the bank account, we own a flat, we own car and stuff like that. So it's really hard to freeze private money. Yeah, I don't know what could happen in the future that government decides to do such option. I don't believe it will happen with the PPK in the current situation. But I cannot guarantee it because I'm not in government. I don't know future. But it's private money, so it's really important because the same like you have your bank accounts and you don't afraid that somebody will freeze your money, will take this money from your bank account, because it's really hard to do it with own property, yeah, that we have.
Okay. Yeah, agree because time is changing and it's quite difficult to predict what kind of
Exactly.
difficulties we will face in the future. So
yeah, but we need to look on the bright side. Let's say, yeah, that we have possibility to collect, to gather additional capital for our future. That we can use it earlier if we want. We can use it in the serious disease and other situation. So I don't think it's that we should look it like that somebody in the future can freeze this money. I don't believe in it, so that's why I think that somebody may just take it under consideration and say, okay, I don't want to invest my money, save my money, because somebody will take it in the future. No, in private product. We have this history with open pension fund. I know this still doesn't help us to talk about the PPK, because it's always compared by the employees, but we shouldn't do that, because open pension fund is totally different history, is the part of the public system, not the private one as we have here.
Okay. So I have received one question from our audience about amount of PPK providers in Poland. Do you know how much companies are eligible to be PPK providers?
19.
19. Mm-hmm.
We have 19, but we believe that in the coming years there will be some consolidation, because some of financial institutions did not achieve the number of the contract as they think, and it's just they will just transfer this business to other financial institutions. For example, we have such two situations. So, for example, Aegon that decided to resign from taking a part in the PPK market, and we hear also that some of institutions are considering moving back from this PPK market, because they have only few contracts, for example, or few millions of assets. So, for example, if we have now around 450 billions of Polish zloty, so they have, for example, 2 millions, 3 millions. So considering the costs that are applies to that fund, they are quite low. So this is not good business for them. So I think they will just move this business to other financial institutions. So, but we will see in the future. But as also other institutions say that on the market they will stay around 10 financial institutions in the future after that consolidations. But we will see.
Yeah, agree. So that's basically all questions for today about PPK program itself. I would remind to our audience that we have a next session where we will talk about NNTFI services and how NNTFI can manage our money, what kind of programs we have, how we can change different funds, and so on. So, and I would like to invite you to this session, and also I encourage you to ask questions because all of these questions I will answer. I will ask. I think Grzegorz will help us to answer these questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I also invite you to the next session. A lot of useful information, and also I encourage you to participate in the PPK for the people who are not already enrolled. It's really worth to have it. Please give a chance to that program. Don't think about open pension fund. Don't think about any other factors that maybe that you are taking under consideration. Nobody will steal this money. That's your private property, and you can use it in the future for any purpose you want. So I encourage you to participate, to change your decision if you are not already enrolled.
Thank you. Thank you for everyone who asked the questions. Grzegorz, many thanks for helping us with providing the answers. So I think it was very useful. So, and see you next time.
Thank you very much. Have a nice evening and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Have a good evening. Bye.
Bye.